It's that she go, no, she must flow. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's that.
So you can declare a new fields in the subclass that are not in the superclass. Yes. The inherited methods can be used directly as they are. Right. So we will be using those methods as if they belong to that particular class itself. Right. You can write a new instance method in a subclass that has the same signature as the one in a superclass, thus overriding it. Right. So we have clearly said that if you have a two methods which are matching with the name and a signature both in a parent class and a subclass, then a subclass will override whatever the definition was given in a parent class. Right. So we have seen example of how overriding will occur also. Right. So similarly, if you have anything called as a static method in a subclass which is having a same name and a signature with respect to its superclass also, then previous definition of that particular static method will be hidden. Right? Overriding will not take place here. Rather, the previous definition will be hidden just because when you are saying something as a static method that belongs to the class level. Class level means for that particular class, that particular method. Right? So as it belongs to a class level, some means deriving class B is nothing but a child class, right? So this particular child class cannot override that. What it can say is, yes, I have a one more method with which is a m1 with respect to class A, but I have a new definition for a m1 from my class. So you see the new definition, I'm going to hide the previous definition which is coming from a class A. Right? So this is how the internal things will happen when you are writing a something called as a static method. Right? So static method is nothing but a class level method. So in a particular class, if you have a static method, then that particular method is attached, or that particular method will be fixed for that particular class. Right? And we can declare a new methods in a subclass that are not in a superclass. This is a simple one. And the last point, we have said that you can write a subclass constructor that invokes the constructor of the superclass. You know the constructor, right? I'm not going to read the second part of the statement which is there after the comma. So what I was saying is, you know what is a constructor, what is a superclass, and what is a subclass, right? Leaving about a comma, so means the second statement after the comma, we will just concentrate on a first statement. What we are saying, you can write a subclass constructor. Subclass, that means a class child has got a constructor, right? You can write a subclass constructor that invokes the constructor of the superclass. That means from a subclass you can call a something called as superclass constructor. So what I was saying is, you can write a subclass constructor that invokes the constructor of a superclass. That means now you have a parent class and a child class, and in both a parent class and a child class you have got a constructors, right? When I say constructor, you should get idea. Constructor is nothing but a methods which will be having the same name as a class name, and it will not be having any return type, and these constructors will be called automatically during a creation of object. Correct? Huh. Now what we are saying is, from a subclass constructor you can call a superclass constructor explicitly, either implicitly or by using a keyword called a super. Right? So what it says is, you can call that particular constructor which is there with respect to a superclass either implicitly or by using a keyword called a super. Right? So now keep this particular statement in mind. Let me just show you how exactly the things are going to work if you are using a constructors in a program. Shall we? Right? So what I said is, if there is a constructor in your program, if there is a constructor in your program, how the program will execute, which one will be given a priority, whether a parent constructor will be given priority first or a child constructor will be given priority. Let us have a clarification with respect to that. Then we will justify the last statement, what exactly is the super keyword. Right? Shall we quickly see an example to justify this particular statement? Now, okay, this is a class A and a class B. My intention is to have a constructors. For that reason, let me remove these particular methods M1 and M2 from these things. Right? Everything has been removed. Object creations have been removed. Right. So now this is a simple program which is having a class A and a class B is extending class A. Now let me write a one constructor here. This is a constructor of A. So I will not write any bigger statements here. System dot out dot println, right? I'll just say from A. This is constructor of your class A. Right. So let me just copy paste those particular instructions. Let me write it as a B, and this is construct B. Right. So what was the constructor topic was saying? It will be called automatically. Constructor will be called automatically when you are creating object of a that particular class. Right. So now let me create object of a class B. B is equal to new B. Right. Now I am expecting what might be the output of this particular program in a chat box. What is the expected output from A, from B? Okay, so you are saying that the two statements will be printed, right? Any others? Any other answers? Saifullah is saying that first a constructor A will be called, then constructor B will be called, right? And have a clear observation in a main function. I am just creating a object of a B. I am not creating object of a A. This is just like acknowledgement from B. Jagdish is saying only from B. Or is there any scenario something like first B constructor will be executed, then a constructor will be executed? Is there any scenario something like that? Or it will just execute only the constructor of a B, it won't execute a constructor of A. Now according to answer, Saifullah is saying that first A constructor will be executed, next a B constructor will be executed, and Jagdish is saying that only B constructor will be executed. Right? Any other answers? Sir, anyhow you will execute a program and you will show the output. Why to think a lot about
Sir,
it? Yes.
sir, in line 5, it's system SYS.
Okay. Copy paste issues. Right. First A, then B. Okay. From B and from A. Okay. From B, from A then B. Okay. So mixed reaction, mixed polling, mixed opinions are there. So let us just run the program and cross check who is right and who understood the concepts in a better fashion. Java C inherited demo.java compiled fine because he helped me in removing that error of system. Java inherited. Right. So what is the conclusion to be drawn now? When you are extending a particular class, then default constructors of this particular class, then default constructors of this particular class will be executed first, then the normal constructor of the class will be executed. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now let me add one small statement for this particular example and let us check the change and the necessity of the keyword called a super. Right. Now int x is equal to 10. This is the instance variable which I am declaring with respect to class A. So let it be a from A and let me add whatever is the value of x. Right. Now int x is equal to 20. So now here let it be a from B and then let me write plus x, right? So now you can imagine what might be the output, right? So what is the output? First a constructor of a will be executed. So from a 10 will be printed, then it will be executing from b and a 20 will be printed. This is according to my knowledge. Let us check my knowledge is correct with respect to a Java or not. Compiled. My knowledge is clear. Now, if my intention is not to print a 20, not to print a 20, if my intention is to consider the value of x defined in its superclass rather than the value defined in its present class, right? So what I have to do is, here I don't want a value defined with respect to this particular class. My intention is to get a value defined in its parent class, right? When I say parent class, I am talking about superclass. Okay. Now here if I write super.x, right? So let us just cross check what might be the output. Compiled fine, observe the difference, right? So what is the change in output? What it is doing is, now the local declaration of x is not taken, rather its parent declaration, that is super of x, in the sense it's a parent with respect to its parent class. Whatever is the definition of x, that particular x definition has been taken, right? So this is the purpose of a keyword called a super, right? So what does a super does is, if you want to talk anything with respect to it's a super class, that means immediate parent of the class. I'm saying immediate parent. Who is the immediate parent of a b? A, right? If you want to talk anything with respect to a immediate parent of your class is a b, immediate parent of this particular class is a, right? If you want to access anything with respect to a immediate parent of your class, then you will be going with a keyword called a super. Got an idea what is the purpose of a keyword called a super? Now with respect to a previous output, when it was executing a parent constructor first, right? When without this particular values of x, when I wrote a program and I executed a program, it was executing a parent constructor first, then a child constructor, right? So what I mean to say is, with respect to any class, if you are extending a particular class, with respect to any class, if you are extending any particular class, first a super constructor will be executed, then only the normal constructor, right? If you are using a super something like this, just a keyword, then you are talking about its values, super value, that means instance variable of that. If you are writing something like super of, like this is nothing but you are talking about constructor, super constructor. That means you are talking about a parent constructor. What I'm saying is, by default, even if you are not writing this particular statement, there will be execution of a parent constructor first, then only the normal constructor will be executed, right? I'm saying this particular statement will be taken implicit, by your class B, right? So there will be an execution of your parent constructor first, then only the normal constructor will be used. That means normal constructor will be executed, right? If you want to refer to the members of your parent class, then you can use a super keyword. So using a super, you can just specify whichever is the instance variable you want to access with respect to parent. It will show you the values of that particular instance variable. Any questions till this particular point? Can I slightly modify the program if you are comfortable with these things?
Sir,
Yes.
can you explain again this super?
Again super. Okay. First be clear with the normal super keyword, then we will go with the super constructor. Okay. So what I'm saying is, could not understand that implicit part. Okay. Right. Mm, okay. So now if I write a program something like this, if I'm writing a program something like this, what does it mean is class A is there. For A you have a constructor. When the constructor will be called when you are creating object of this particular class, right? So that is fine. Now you have a two different classes, class A and a class B is there, and the class B is having its own constructor. So this will be called when you are creating object of this particular class B, right? Clear till this particular point. Now
Yes.
if I am executing this particular program, what was the output? What was the output in the sense, even though I am creating object of a class B, even though I am creating object of a class B, first it was executing a constructor of a class A, right? It was executing a constructor of a class A, then it was executing a constructor of a class B, correct? What I am saying is, now you are here with respect to a constructor B, or within a class B you didn't write anything like you have to execute some superclass constructor. We didn't write any statements like this. We didn't write all these things. We didn't write a super of a constructor. But when we execute, what it is happening is, by default it is first executing your superclass constructor. First it is executing your superclass constructor, then it is executing your child class constructor, right? What I am saying is, even though if you are not writing this particular super, implicitly there will be a superclass constructor defined in your class definition. This is one aspect. Another aspect, if you want to refer to a values of your parent class, right? If you want to refer to a values of your parent class, you can use super keyword as a normal keyword, specify dot. Now if I am writing super dot x, then I'll not be talking with respect to x is equal to 10, which is defined in a class B. Rather I'll be talking with respect to this particular x is equal to 10, right? Super keyword is a different, super constructor is a different, right? So what does a super constructor says? Execute my parent constructor. Super constructor says. Do we need to explicitly specify? No need to specify this one explicitly. There will be a statement written already. No need to write that, right? But at this particular part, I need to specify explicitly because it is up to your requirement. Whether you want to talk about this particular x is equal to 20 or you want to talk about this particular x is equal to 10. Okay. If you want to talk about x value as a 10, then only you will be using a keyword called a super. I didn't save the file. If my requirement is to access the instance variables of a parent, immediate parent, then I will be using the super keyword. That is your super.x. If my intention is to call the constructor of my parent, then also I can use a super constructor. I have not shown you any working example. I just told you that there is something called as a super constructor that will be executed automatically when you are creating object of your child class.
Sir, can we use like the same thing like sub dot x in the class A?
In a class A,
Yes.
here,
Yes.
what you want to use?
As like the super dot x, can we use sub dot x?
No, sub is not there.
Okay, sir.
See, one thing you keep in mind, when you are going with the inheritance concept, the parent content can be used in a child and the requirement will not be in a reverse direction. Child content requirement will not, so means it will not be something like I'll be using a content of a child to a parent. It will not be in a reverse direction, because you cannot create object of a means by creating object of a parent, you don't have a provision to access the methods of a child class, right? Always it will be something like from a parent you can take the values, but being at a parent you don't want to take a value of a child.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir. Got it.
everywhere,
Thank you.
wherever we will discuss, this particular backbone should be a same.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Can I modify a program a bit? Yes. Modification goes something like this. Not a very big modification. Let me just take that particular variable int x here, right? So when I'm taking int x here, I'll remove this particular statement here. What a big modification we have done. We will see how much big it is, right? Copied, pasted here. Now don't ask me that in this is a int x and this is a int x. These are with respect to those particular scopes. Now those things are nothing but local variables for that particular constructor. Okay, if it is confusing for you, let me take it is int x and this one is int y. Okay, now my intention is just wanted to print whatever is the value of a y specified. Correct. Now, when I want to call this particular constructor, what has to be done? I have to pass some value. Now big magic should happen and things should be more complicated, right? So, what are the things we said? Constructor is the method which will be executed implicitly when you are creating an object of the class. Yes. Am I creating object of a class? Yes, you are creating object of a class. Okay. So what value I am passing for this particular object? 10 I am passing. Now which constructor need to be called? This particular constructor need to be called, right? So before executing this particular constructor, which parent constructor need to be called? There should be a call for this particular class A, right? Have we, whether we have defined any default constructor here? See, I already told you, whenever a class B is executing a constructor, first it will check for default parent constructor. What will be a default parent constructor? A followed by no arguments. This is nothing but a default constructor, right? So what I'm saying is, when you are extending, first it will go for this particular default constructor, right? So now what I will do, my intention is not to go for the default constructor, rather my intention is I want this particular B should go to this particular part of A, first let it execute this particular part A, then it comes to a B, right? So what I have to do, within this particular constructor, I can call something called as a super. For this particular super, I can pass a value of y. Now what I am doing is, I am working with something called as parameterized constructor, right? So how the things will work, something like this. I'll show you how the things will work. I'll just explain you, have an imagination of that. Okay, creating object of a B, value has been passed, it has to match to this particular constructor, right? Before it goes to this particular constructor, what it will do, class B will check for a default constructor of a class A. Do you have any default constructor? No. What it will do, it will go to a B part. First statement is to call a super of Y, so it will call a super of Y, that means a constructor of your parent will be executed, then this particular part will be executed. Let us just cross check the output, later we will analyze the things in a better fashion. Cannot be applied to a given types, error, which line? Line number 11. Constructor A in a class A cannot be applied to a given types. Okay, 1 second. Okay. So I didn't do anything magic here. What I did is, it was a saying that it is not able to find any default constructor here. So I just wrote a one default constructor. I not defined anything into that particular default constructor, right? So first it has checked for a default constructor, nothing was there in the default constructor. It has finished its execution, then it went for execution of a constructor part, then it has executed a constructor of a B. Right? I just wanted to show you that once you come to this particular class, first it will try to execute a default constructor of a class A, then only it will go with the execution of a class B constructor. Right? So I'll give you some time, go through the program carefully, right? So important discussion should be with respect to a super normal use of a super and a super with brackets. That means if I'm writing a super with the brackets means I'm talking about constructors, super constructors. Right. Any questions? Or shall I summarize everything at once?
Sir, it means that when you are using the super in the in class B, it means that the value x will be the same for both classes.
Yes, I am passing the same value. Say for example, here I don't want to pass the value of y. This was a y, right? If I don't want to pass a value of a y, if I wanted to pass a some 50, that can be passed. No problem in that. Now output will be first a 50 will be printed, then 10 will be printed.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Any questions? See, in next classes, I cannot make you people afraid of things, but the problem with respect to programming is once you start learning a new concepts, those new concepts by default implicitly will be using few concepts of a previous classes, right? Now if I feel like today I have explained what is the norm, what is the use of a super and a super constructor. If I start using those things without explaining why am I using that one, and if I am taking those things directly in a program, then it might be confusing. Why I am telling you is each and every concept whatever we are going to discuss in every class, those concepts will be used somewhere in a further programmings, right? If you are not clear with any of the topic, don't hesitate to ask me, because if you are not clear with that, it will not be that much comfortable to understand the further concepts. Because once we are done with the super, in the next class I will try to take an example how to use this keyword and a super keyword. Okay, this keyword talks about present instance, right? Present object or present class. This keyword. What is the super talks about? Super talks about its parent class, its parent constructor, its parent instance variables. Right? You should be in a position to understand when to use this keyword and when to use a super keyword. What is the purpose of this keyword and what is the purpose of a super keyword? What is the purpose of this constructor and what is the purpose of a super constructor? Right? So that is the only reason why I'm giving you some time to analyze the program and ask questions if you have any. Sir, can you explain it again briefly? It is a bit confusing. Yes, Jagdish. See, if you justify me whatever you understood, then it will be easy for me to go through the things further. Okay. Let me just summarize whatever the things I have told you. Right? Initially, I didn't take all these. Okay. So let me just quickly go through the program from the start. Okay, so this was my first modification, first program which I wrote, right? So what I told is when I'm executing this particular program, okay, I said that when I'm executing this particular program, first a parent constructor will be executed, then a child constructor will be executed, right? And I gave you a conclusion saying that here there will be something called as a super constructor written, and that will be written implicitly. No need to write this particular statement explicitly, right? So I told that is the reason why it will be going to a super constructor first, then it will be coming to this particular class. This is what I told. Now what I said, what I have done is, if you have an argument, is this called as parameterized constructor? Okay, so when you have a parameterized constructors, right, so what happens if you are creating object here, object of a 10, right, this constructor need to be executed. When it is going to this particular constructor of a class B need to be executed, that means this particular class should come into an action, right? When this particular class has to come into action, implicitly you wrote something called as a super here. If you remember, I said there is some implicit statement which is called as a super, right? Now what this super will do? This super will just cross check, is there any definition given here, right? You don't have any definition given here, so it was a throwing the error. So what I have done is, I've just made one class here, constructor, didn't write anything in this particular constructor, didn't write anything. Right now if I execute at this particular point, let us just cross check how the things are going to work, right? So inherit demo, no errors, right? So what it is showing from a B, right? So only this particular constructor is in execution, right? So let me print what is the value of 1. Only this particular constructor is in action. This constructor is not in action, right? If your intention is to call this particular constructor also into action, right, here you just specify super of, that is a parameterized constructor, right? This is a parameterized constructor. You just specify super of some 50, some value. Obviously during the execution of a constructor, parameterized constructor of a class B, first it will show you a parameterized constructor of A, then only it will display. Right, here I have not displayed any value. Here I can just write whatever is the value of X that it can print.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, in the line 3, why we have to give a constructor, sir?
That is the reason why I am telling you. Here by default there will be some super constructor without super default constructor. That means when you are loading the class B, it will be checking for are there any default constructor with respect to class A. As you don't have any default constructor, it was a showing error. Once again, actually for a few IDEs it will consider a default constructor by default. Yes, now it is okay, no problem with respect to that.
Okay, sir, got it.
Okay.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Previously also I didn't write any definition in that, but few IDEs should always take there is some default constructor defined already. But for the first time when I executed, I was getting error, so I just defined one default constructor, not specified anything into it.
Okay, sir.
Just to avoid the warning which it was shown before. Shaifullah, common use of the super keyword is to eliminate the confusion between a super classes and the subclasses that have methods with the same name. Yes, can be used for methods also. Now I am just talking about with respect to a variables and with respect to a constructors. Shall we quickly see the statements in the PPT? See, ultimately your PPT will be a reference for your study, so that is the reason why I am following that particular PPT. Okay, so there are a few statements defined with respect to a super. If a class is inheriting the properties of another class, the subclass automatically acquires a default constructor of a superclass. Yes, default constructor of a superclass. Okay, the superclass constructors can be called explicitly using the super keyword, which is called as super. So this is what we have done. We have written super followed by argument, so it is calling my superclass constructor. Okay, if you want to call a parameterized constructor of a superclass, you need to use the super keyword as shown below, something like this. right? So there is a small example. Can you quickly analyze this example and drop me output in a chat box? It won't take a much time. You can easily analyze based on an example, whatever we have discussed. If you are, means if you are dropping me a message here, the proper output, then it will give me a confidence that you understood whatever the things I have explained for 2 hours. What is the program? What is the output for a default execution of constructors? What will be output? Parent class, then child class. Parent class, then a child class. Yatam is saying only child class. Why Yatam? First it will print a parent class, then it will go for a child class. Don't get confused. Because your child class will be having a default constructor for a parent class. Yes, beautiful answers. I'm happy with the answers. Okay. What will be output for your second program? Explicit use of a super keyword. It won't take much time. Just analyze a bit. Just concentrate with respect to a classes. First, you have a class parent. That scope is from this to this particular point. You have a one parameterized constructor in a parent, and there is a normal method called a get age. Right? So class child extends a parent. When it is extending a parent, default constructor will be there. Default constructor will be there. Right? So what you are doing with respect to main? You are creating object of a child class. Right? When you are creating object of a child class, first it will go to a default constructor. It will check whether there is a default constructor of a parent. You don't have a default constructor of a parent. Then what it will do? When you don't have a default constructor of a parent, it will go to a parameterized constructor of a child. Correct? So it is matching with respect to this. Here you are calling super of m. What is the value of m? M is equal to 40. 40 will be sent to a parent of k. Okay, so 40 will be copied to age. So first you will be getting a message called as parent. Okay, parent class. This is the first message which you will be getting. Then it will be executing a child class constructor. Then you will be getting, you have called a method, right? ch.getAge. Method is the third iteration. First it will print you a parent class, then it will print you something called as a child class, then it will print something called as parent class age as a something. Right? So first output will be a parent class, second statement will be a child class, and the third statement will be a parent class followed by an age called a 40. Understood? Clear with the things? If you have any doubts, I'll be sharing a recording. Go through the recording once, go through the slides, the points in the slides. If you have any questions, you can post those questions. I don't know whether you are in a continuous working with respect to a programming language, or you grown up in a position that you understood how to rectify the mistakes. If that is the case, I will be a most happiest person. If the thing is you are not understanding and you don't want to ask questions, means then that will be a problem for you, not for me. So don't do such a things. If you have any questions, you post those questions to me. Right? You can leave the session. Have a nice day. Thanks for your participation and thanks for making the session interactive one.